Hello everyone and welcome to the video. This is Professor Amanda and class has officially begun. So I'm here with our Dean, CountXevious, and we're going to shoutcast over a tournament that I did where I did a 7-0 sweep. It was the first tournament of the season for me, so I'm pretty excited to share it with you guys.
7-0. That's a really good start to the season, Amanda. You must be really proud.
Yeah, I was actually super pumped about it. With the new weighting system with the Silph tournaments, I decided not to put too much pressure on the situation, and I said, yeah, if I do a 5-2, I'll weight it for sure. Maybe even if I only win 4 and lose 3.
Can you take us through your team?
So my team, I went with Obama Snow, Wizcash, Vigoroth, Shadow Articuno, Larian Stunfisk, and Mantine. And I actually kind of messed up because I meant to replace Wizcash with regular Stunfisk, but I didn't do it in time for the tournament to start, so the Wizcash kind of sat on the bench for most of the games.
But I really like the Wishcash pick. It's actually the only thing in the meta that's a solid wall to the Stunfisk. So
That's true. Also to the Alolan Marowak.
Exactly. Okay, now that we are through your team, let's start your first game. Guys, just for your information, Amanda played these games. I have not seen these games before, so for me, this is going to be a first time viewing. So, game 1, it's going to be Lundberger versus Kyria 20. Game 1, she leads Stunfisks into Mantine. This is not exactly a good lead, but Stunfisk does get to Rock Slide earlier than Mantine. Why did you stay in?
The way that I like to play it usually is I let them throw their charge move. Normally they bubble beam at the beginning because that's the play, and then I swap out to something else. So I save some energy on my Stunfisk, and then see where it goes from there.
Oh, it's interesting. They swapped in their Stunfisk into your Mantine. Mantine is
Yeah, I also
definitely
thought
a
it was.
counter to Stunfisk if you go straight Bubble Beam, and you had an
Yeah, and
energy
I think
advantage.
it beats it in all shield scenarios, doesn't it?
Yes, if you go straight Bubble Beam, yes. It's a very interesting play from your opponent. Maybe sacking the Stunfisk for I don't know what in the back, because everything else in the back is going to be weak to your Mantine and your Stunfisk combination. Okay, he swaps in his Mantine, probably going to throw an Ice Beam. Oh, he throws a Bubble Beam. Okay, that's interesting.
Yep, and then I switched back to my Stunfisk because I knew I had a Rock Slide almost queued up.
Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, now he has no shield. Basically, you have Mantine with some energy, so that's going to either debuff the next Pokemon or be able to throw an Icy Wind and do an Ice Beam and do quite a lot of damage to the Pokemon that comes after. I'm surprised your opponent threw energy because I think at this point he could have farmed you down, but that's good for you, and you have Vigoroth at the back. So with a shield advantage, no matter what Pokemon is at the back, you should be able to beat whatever.
Yeah, and also with an energy advantage. That's why I brought the Vigoroth in. I figured just getting a few extra counters in can always be helpful.
Okay, and you swap.
I made a mistake here. I should have threw an Ice Beam right here. I think it could have ended it.
Yeah, I think an Ice Beam would have at least put the Vigoroth in the red, and then your game would have been over. But hey, you get to another Ice Beam here, you can probably tank this Body Slam and finish the game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Alright, that's interesting. A couple of interesting plays by your opponent instead of using his Vigoroth as a safe swap. Okay, game 2, Vigoroth into Skarmory. So this is an interesting match because in the two shielding scenario, Vigoroth should be able to beat Skarmory. So how are you going to play this?
So I just banked a bunch of energy on my Skarmory, and then I'm kind of stacking the Mantine and seeing what they're going to do.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you're just fishing for, let's say, their own Mantine or an Abomasnow.
Yeah, or the Abomasnow. Yep.
That's a very smart move. Of course, you had to commit the shield, but I think that it's a very good play. Is your opponent shields the first attack that he throw? That's interesting again. I would advise you not to shield the first one. And you go straight Bubble Beam now because you're afraid of him throwing an Ice Beam at you.
Yep.
Alright. Oh, why did you bring Wishcash?
I don't know. I thought maybe that they would bring their Marowak or their Stunfisk, and it's good against both.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of kept it as a safe swap, but they didn't swap to either, so.
Yeah, okay. But I think Blizzard does a lot of damage to Vigoroth, so maybe if you don't shield, they don't shield, and you land a Blizzard. Okay, going for the big move. Let's see
Yeah,
what happens.
go big or go home.
Oh wow, he didn't shield. That's gonna really flip this match on its head. And he tried to farm down a Wish Cache. Oh my god.
It doesn't shield it either, so all that energy was wasted.
So he's gonna try to sweep with his Mantine, but that's going to be difficult. Oh, you almost had
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I thought I could reach it, but yeah, it was
So
effective. This was also a mistake on their part, I think.
Yeah.
That they bubble beamed instead of ice beamed the
Exactly.
Mantine.
I would understand you bought in your Mantine to soak up the energy that the Mantine had built up. I was thinking it would be an ice beam too, but I guess throwing a bubble beam, he might have tried to fish for a shield. Okay, from what I remember, you had some energy banked up on your Mantine. So an ice beam here will not KO, but he went for a bubble beam. Interesting. So you're going to go for an ice beam here.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm big.
And then I won.
Oh, timeout.
I just won from a timeout.
Yeah, well, it's totally understandable when you're like stuck in a Mantine mirror match for a while. It's gonna.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're just so bulky, and if you're just throwing bubbles, you're just reducing the other person's energy too. So, yeah. So I won the first two. I also won the third, but just for time's sake, I figured we'll move on to the second match. The thing that you notice about this team is it's the exact same team as I previously played.
Oh wow.
So I really go with the exact same strategies.
Okay, that's nice. So Stunfisk into an Abomasnow. This is a good lead. You should beat it comfortably in the one shield scenario. You just have to be worried about the two shielding scenario. So Weather Ball, you're going to do Rock Slide. Rock Slide is going to do super effective damage. Weather Ball does neutral to the Stunfisk. So I guess, oh my god, that was a nice swap by your opponent. Very nice swap. But unlucky for him, you have a shield advantage and Mantine at the back. So this is going to be quite a difficult game. Oh,
Did you see that?
it's a brick. Oh wow.
Which makes me think. So I was like, I know that I don't have to block anything that this Vigoroth is throwing at me.
Yeah, I think he probably he's running Brick Break and Bulldoze. Oh wow. Okay, you just farmed down now.
Yeah. And to be fair, I probably wouldn't have blocked anyway, even if they were body slams. I know that it would have taken a lot of energy, but I would have also thrown.
Yeah, and also the thing is that Abomasnow had an energy lead at this point, so you needed the shield anyways. Okay, it was surprising that the Abomasnow went for an energy ball instead of just throwing two weather balls would have killed you. I think he wasted quite a bit of energy, but
he's also debuffed.
That's yeah, okay. Two shield advantage, Vigoroth versus anything. There is no coming back into this game, I think.
Yeah, I underfarmed there so I could get a little more energy to see what was in the back, so I would have a body slam ready.
Yeah, I was smart too. You just made sure that even if there is any visual glitches, you're still going to get the body slam before Mantine gets the bubble beam you. Oh, that's an
I also noticed that it aerial ace, yeah.
Oh, that's spicy. So if you kind of figure out that your Abomasnow can no longer have a play against his Mantine, because with aerial ace it beats Abomasnow in the one shield scenario.
But to be honest, when people have Marowaks, I tend not to bring in my ice, at least for the first one or two, seeing what they do.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's a good way of playing. It is interesting, and now I guess Vigoroth versus Mantine is even a better matchup right now. and they swap into Stunfisk. This is very good for you. You throw the bubble beam, you swap into your Vigoroth, and you don't have to shield anything that the Stunfisk throws at you. Especially a debuff Stunfisk is not going to do as much damage with the Earthquake as a normal one.
I figured this had to be an earthquake since they blocked.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption to make, but I guess it's kind of even worse for them because they get countered down, and Vigoroth with 2 body slam energy advantage is going to just destroy anything at the back. Oh, you went for the bubble beam. That's interesting. Ah, you're just going to debuff it forever.
Yeah.
Oh man, I feel sorry for the Obamas now. It's energy ball maybe? Oh, it's a weather ball. Interesting. Okay, this won't KO. The weather ball is going to come make pretty close to KO, but I guess at this point, as the Obamas know, you try to farm down, but you swap into a Stunfisk. He's still staying in and throwing in a debuffed energy ball. That's not going to do it.
I think like a triple debuffed.
Yeah. So at this point he has no shield. You have a shield and a Stunfisk. You can just block this and rock slide the Abomasnow, and that should be GG.
Yeah, that was a pretty one-sided match.
Yeah.
All right, so the third matchup was against Bala Shandar, and the team is a pretty typical Sunrise team, I think.
Yep.
But there is no fire on this team, so I think I'm going to bring the Articuno in at some point. So to start off with, I'm Abomasnow against a Vigoroth, which is a great lead. And then they make a mistake, I think, to swap in a Vigoroth onto one that's already has some energy charged up. I don't know, do you agree or disagree?
No, I don't think it's an okay move. The Vigoroth got some energy lead, and it's just very unlucky that you have a Mantine at the back. But hey, your Mantine is pretty much chipped down, so I think it's an okay play, personally.
No, see, I don't like to swap in a Vigoroth into a Vigoroth that already has some energy, because I know they're going to hit their fast moves first. I mean, their charge moves first.
Yeah, that is true. But I've done this quite a bit sometimes. Only to what is it called? Only just to line up the Abomasnow against the Mantine or the Flyer. That's going to do some damage. Farm it
Yeah,
down,
that makes sense.
and then do some damage into the Vigoroth, because the energy ball does take like 40% of Vigoroth's health.
That's true, but I did debuff it, so
Yeah.
it is at least doing a little bit less.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's throwing another weather ball at me, and now I'm just gonna
Body slammer.
throw a move at it. Yep.
He still has a shield
So
advantage.
yes, he has
Oh.
2 shields.
If he plays this right, he can beat a Stunfisk with the Skarmory. Skarmory beats Stunfisk in the 2-to-1 shield scenario.
Really?
Yeah. You need to
Oh.
you go straight Sky Attack, and you can finish off with a Brave Bird.
Oh, that's true, because it does about a little under, like, is it about a third health?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
30%
that's true.
or something. So you can already see the Sky Attacks chunking away. At some point,
That's true.
Stunfisk has to shield.
Yeah. Normally, I like to charge up to 2 rock slides, but since this was his last Pokemon and he had 2 shields left, I was just throwing them immediately to burn the shields.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I did an aggressive swap into a Vigoroth and
That was
just
smart.
countered and body slammed it down.
I think if it had 1 more
Alright,
HP,
so-
it would have won the game.
It's possible. I still had a shield though, so
Ah, yeah, fair enough. Okay. So, game 2. Articuno into a Mantine. This is going to be very interesting.
yes.
So it's going to be who calls whose bait.
Yes, but normally I never shield, especially because they hit their charge move before I hit the Icy Wind, so I knew it was only going to be a Bubble Beam.
Yeah, it was much too early for it to be an Ice Beam.
Yep.
You want to always charge up to the Ice Beam, because the Ice Beam, I think, one hit KOs the Shadow Articuno, even if it's...
No, no.
No? Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
It's quite
it does
tanky.
a decent chunk, but it doesn't one shot it.
Okay. Alright. So, you didn't commit a shield, and you can now
Nope.
farm down the Mantine. It's already debuffed twice, I guess.
Exactly, that was my thought. Even if they ice beam me, it doesn't really matter because it's pretty debuffed at this point, and now I'm just gaining some energy on my Mantine.
Yeah, that's fair. You did get debuffed twice, so maybe you try to swap at some point to maintain, to go back to neutral. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Vigoroth mirror, but you have a shield advantage, so this should be a Vigoroth sweep at the back, mostly.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried because I was like, I have to take out this Vigoroth because the Obama Snow will beat the Mantine for sure.
Yeah. And now I guess you just go for the body slam spam and do as much damage as you can with your counters, and yeah. Okay, once this body slam lands, I think it's the Obama Snow will probably going to be at Ice Beam range anyways, so it should be okay.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when in their Vigoroth though.
Yeah. Okay.
Luckily, yeah, I was just one away from the Ice Beam, and I cleared my debuffs, so I knew it was going to hit full.
And Energy Ball at this range doesn't KO. It does about 60%. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, yeah, this is actually the third game. I noticed that they had Brick Break on their Vigoroth, which I don't think is the preferred move. I wouldn't run it. I'm running Body Slam and Bulldoze, but the Brick Break in this game is what won it for them. So I thought I should highlight that as well.
That is interesting. Brick Break does have, let's say, better use against Galarian Stunfisk, for example.
And also the opposing Vigoroth, because it gets to the move faster as well.
Okay, I did not know that. Does it get to the move one turn before?
I think so.
Okay, that's interesting. So basically,
or at least the way that it's played, it feels like it. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, you're sacrificing the coverage of Alolan Marowak for having Brick Break.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty interesting.
But to be honest, there's a lot more Galarian Stunfisk than there is Marowak, so...
Yeah.
And I guess you kind of weigh the pros and cons on both.
Yeah, it's very smart of him, I think, that bringing something like that. There's also a lot of talk going on for just running, what is it called, Air Slash on a Mantine.
Yeah, I could see that's better against like the Abomasnows.
Yeah, it beats Obama Snow. It also beats the mirror, so it's interesting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It loses to Stunfisk, so you have to bring another extra counter for it. Like the line you played, it would make sense to have Air Slash Mantine. Basically, would cover quite a lot of your Mantine weaknesses, I guess.
So yeah, I still have 2 shields here, but I know that the Vigoroth has some energy and it has a Brick Break, and this is probably Vigoroth's worst matchup besides an Altaria, but I haven't really seen one. I think my Shadow Articuno scares away a lot of people from bringing in the Altarias.
Yeah, I would not bring my Altaria if there's a Shadow Articuno. That is for sure. It also, yes, Flyers are considered good counters to Vigoroth, but also be careful when you use it. It's just in the 2 shields it loses to both Skarmory and Vigoroth beats Skarmory and Altaria. So
look at the timer. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. That was so close.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Brick Break coming in clutch. Every move works.
Brick Break right as the time goes up to win the 3rd game.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think you know this guy, right? My 4th opponent.
Yes, he's a fellow gym leader from our Virbank city. It's an Indian gym system.
So this team, I was like, really, when I was looking at it, was struggling to come up with a good composition. The Marowak and also the Stunfisk.
Yeah.
And I think that the Wigglytuff, the charm is just so strong that it would...
Yeah, charm is... Wigglytuff beats 5 of your Pokemon almost.
Yes, exactly. So I was pretty worried. But this is how it went. Silent Mantine into Marowak. Perfect. I think a lot of people think that when they see the Shadow Articuno, that you're going to lead it.
Yeah, it's
so I figured that people would think that. so I put the Mantine in the front.
It's the same with Shadow of Almost Snow. I've been trying to get away from the fact that people are not leading it anymore, even though they have it. So it's kind of interesting. But
So since I debuffed this Vigoroth, I'm not blocking.
Yeah.
The first one, at least.
This is gonna put
Oh,
you in the
neither of
red.
them.
Okay. Yeah, you have energy. This is going to KO, I guess, if he doesn't block. Okay. Maybe he counters you down? Oh, clutch. Oh my god.
Clutch.
1 HP throw. Oh my god.
Yep.
He just did
And he
this.
blocks it.
Oh, okay. This is now interesting because Marowak can farm down your Articuno.
Yes. So I had to bring in the Articuno because I knew that the Marowak was left.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he threw the energy. Okay, that's good for you, I think, in a way. Oh.
Yeah, but he baited me with a Bone Club. But this is where yes, I was really I didn't want to spend the dust, and I was like, I can probably go in with one move, but I didn't want to, and I'm so glad that I spent the dust and the candies to get the second move, because it really comes in handy against the Marowaks.
Yeah, and people don't expect you to throw Ancient Power instead of Icy Wind, because
exactly, yeah, at least the first time.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the recommended moveset is Hurricane and
yeah, but that's an elite TM, isn't it?
Yeah, for a Shadow, it's definitely an elite TM.
Yeah.
That was very good counting by your opponent. He waited till the last minute. Oh, the Ice Shot. I think he had energy. Oh, he overtapped.
Yeah,
there.
That was a super close match. I decided to lead the Vigoroth, but yeah, it's not the best matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great for the Marowak either. Obviously he's searching for the Articuno.
Oh, that's a nice swap. But I'm not sure if that's actually a smart swap, because the Articuno on the Vigoroth. I think this is an IV-based matchup. On the 2 shields, the Vigoroth can pull it off.
Yeah, I think the Vigoroth normally wins, but like I said, I saw that there was the Marowak, so I was like, I just got to get the Articuno out of the way, because it's almost a liability. Yeah. And now, because it knows that I have Ancient Power, I'm going to Icy Wind him.
Yeah, that's very
because
smart.
I know that
he's going to shield.
Yeah, the Articuno is going to go down, but at least I've debuffed it for the next Pokemon that it'll go against.
Okay, so you come in with the Mantine, and Mantine's going to take a Shadow Ball. Even a debuff Shadow... Oh! Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not shielding, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. I think he was trying to, bait a shield, but I wasn't going to shield it.
Yeah, that was interesting play. Very interesting play. What I would have done personally is I would have swapped out and then decided to bank the energy, because the Shadow Ball that's not debuffed actually does quite a lot of damage, 40% or so.
It does about half health or so. Yeah.
So it's a questionable move, at least according to me, because I think he had almost 2 Shadow Balls worth of energy.
Yeah, I think so too.
So now you just...
And Ferrothorns are like so difficult for my team.
Yeah. But I guess with energy advantage, I mean without a shield, it's still going to take neutral damage from Mantine, and yeah, that should be that. Oh wow.
This is the second Shadow Ball we're talking about.
Yeah.
So if I didn't get that debuff off in time, I think that he definitely would have had that match.
Exactly. So if he had swapped into his Ferrothorn earlier instead of staying in, that would you would have lost this game.
Yes, I think so as well. Luckily he didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's go. Next one.
All right. So we're on to the next round. It's Gippy. And he has Marowak as well, so I don't think that the Articuno is getting shelved again for this round.
Yep, it is an interesting team. It's a very template team. It's actually my team now that I look at it, except that I don't have a Vigoroth into a Mantine. I guess you take the first Bubble Beam and then you swap. That was your play, right?
That's exactly what I do. Yeah. Yep. It's almost my play with anything. Once I get Bubble Beamed, I get some energy and then I swap something else. Okay. But he played it really smart, so he banked up to an Ice Beam and then threw the Bubble Beam, so he had enough energy already to Bubble Beam whatever came in before he dipped. So.
And as a Vigoroth, you don't have to shield the earthquake that's been debuffed. It's gonna do
Yep.
like half your HP, but that's okay. That was a CMP tie. That's unfortunate. Okay, coming in with the Mantine, and I guess
Yep, just to soak up the body slams.
soak up the body slams, build some energy, and then try to throw a Bulba Beam at whatever comes next, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was close.
Luckily, he couldn't even get to the move. So this is also unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a no shield, and then okay, that's a good swap. But now he brings in his Mantine, and at this point, it's going to be very difficult for you to come back into the game.
Yeah, I still have 2 shields, and I was wondering like where would it have been appropriate to use them, but
yeah, but as long as he's bubble beaming, it makes no sense for you to use the shields.
Exactly. I knew that it wasn't an ice beam, so
yeah, it's not gonna KO, but either way, it was gonna debuff you. So maybe here it might have been a good opportunity to.
Yeah, I thought about that too, because I was like, he's gonna bubble beam me here, so he's going to.
Yeah. I think it would have been a wise decision to shield there, because the Mantine would have been energy dry. Oh, CMP.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Which is really unfortunate.
Oh, so you can't even farm extra energy. That's just bad luck after bad luck.
Yeah. So now it's double debuffed against like a pretty loaded.
Yeah, and it's almost at an ice beam if it was single debuffed. So it's very unfortunate. I think ideal play would have been shielding the Vigoroth and.
Yeah, and then like, I don't know if you noticed, but the time ran out on that one too, and he had just a sliver of health more than I did. So yeah, I threw the ice beam, and then.
Oh yeah, just about enough to beat.
So I even exited out of the game to double check the journal just to make sure that it said that I lost, because you can hardly tell when there's just that little bit of HP left.
Yeah, definitely. Oh well, unlucky, really unlucky.
Yeah.
So same lead.
So I kept the same line. Yep, same strategy.
So body slam, a few more counters. Wait till he throws a bubble beam and then swap out. Okay, so he has an energy advantage, so he's probably going to do the exact same thing that he did the last game.
And the minute I did this, I was like, darn it, I really hope this isn't a repeat of last game.
Wow.
So this time I baited.
Okay, this time you threw a rock slide. Oh, he shielded. Okay, that is interesting. I would not have shielded the Vigoroth. It was going to be a debuffed earthquake anyways. So, okay, so now he has no shields. You have 2 shield advantage, and you're just gonna bubble beam down the Vigoroth.
Now I'm taking a page from his book and blocking the first body slam.
Yeah, that's a good play, I think. And from now on, the body slams are not gonna do as much damage as before. So you can.
Right. And I'm waiting till he throws energy here, and then I'm gonna swap to mine, I think.
Okay.
Oh no, I let him do it first.
Okay, that's actually a good play. Save your Mantine for the Vigoroth, and then let your Vigoroth do as much damage as possible once this debuff hits you. Okay, that's a smart play. Yeah, and it's about in a range where body slam is gonna put it deep into the red, and then.
Right. So yeah. So now we were just piggybacking. So it's like if he bubbles beams me again, then at least I know that I have a Mantine in the back.
Plus, you have a shield advantage, so that should seal the deal.
Exactly.
Oh man, this I think you commit a shield here. Oh no, okay.
You want to watch an epic showdown here?
Okay.
Yeah, so I come in and I bubble beam it.
Okay, this is.
And I know that I have to block this.
Yeah, of course. This is going to be very close, actually.
You want to see some nerves? Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I think. This won't kill it. Oh, this rock slide won't kill it because it's double debuffed. It's gonna put it really deep into the red.
Yes, and I'm barely able to reach. The bubble beam and
Mudshot is super assisted by by Mantine, and after 2 debuffs, it does no damage whatsoever.
Yes, exactly. For the third game, I thought that I would do something a little bit different because I hadn't brought in the Articuno at all. So I figured that maybe they thought I wouldn't, since the Marowak kind of scared it away. But I think he had the exact same thought I did.
Okay, well, that's a bad lead. We'll see how you come back from it. They swap in their Abomasnow.
Doesn't this look horrible already?
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's very horrible. But they go for, I guess, Weather Ball. Energy Ball.
Oh, shoot.
That's nice, actually. You're lucky that you did not get... I guess he was fishing for the defense drop, and then he can maybe Weather Ball you time after time.
And then he blocked the second Bubble Beam.
I think that's where he made a big mistake, because... Oh, do you block this?
No, he's already double debuffed.
Okay, fair enough. But is this one of those games where if he doesn't block, this is gonna do at least 40%? Okay, and he can farm down. I think at this range, he decides to throw. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's.
So now it's his call.
Yeah, so now he has to block it. At least. That's why you always try and farm up all the way till Shadow Ball?
Shadow Ball, right?
Yeah. Because I think, I'm not sure, but maybe Alolan Marowak wins CMP there.
So yeah, I'm throwing this and I'm bail into the Mantine.
Yeah, oh, you even had a Bubble Beam stored up. That's
I had an Ice Beam stored up too, but I thought since he would probably knock me out, that it was more crucial to get off the Bubble Beam to debuff it.
So that you bank.
So he just threw his energy onto the Mantine.
And
so I know that he's energy dry.
Stored, so that should be. Oh no, 1 Body Slam. Okay, that is an interesting play, I guess.
He tries to swap in the Abomasnow, but yeah, they're both just.
Yeah, should have tried to
energy
swap it
dry.
in earlier. Unfortunate clutch plays, I guess, from Articuno's Ancient Power.
And from the beginning, I thought that game was lost when I led the Articuno to the Alolan Marowak, switched to the Mantine, and then there was a Abomasnow to counter it. I figured I was just outplayed, so I got really lucky in that last game.
I think he made a few mistakes by shielding the Abomasnow, and if
I think that
was done.
I mean, to be fair, I did bank up to an Ice Beam, but
Ice Beam does it like 30%.
It wouldn't have knocked it out.
Exactly. So, anyways, so now you're 5-0, going into Game 6. This is going to be interesting. Again, you see a Ferrothorn, which is giving you nightmares.
Yes, it's they have a triple steel team too, though. I don't know if you know what the.
It's going to be difficult.
And this guy, he's actually the only one in the tournament who started the tournament as a rival. So it was one of the first tournaments of the month, but he had already done a weighted cup, so he was at the top of the list. And he had remained at the top for the whole tournament up until this point.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's see how you play this. Game 1, you lead Mantine into another Mantine. This is going to be a CMP tie base. Either it's going to take forever with Bubble Beams, or it's going to be straight Ice Beams. Let's see what he does. He goes for an Ice Beam. That's how I like to play the matchup. Because
yeah, me too.
If they don't shield the Bubble Beam, then it's too much. Okay, that's a mistake. I would have stayed in, at least Bubble Beamed before I bailed.
Yeah, I agree, because now I'm ahead on energy as well.
Yeah, and I think one shield scenario, Articuno should do quite well. Okay, does he commit?
And I even overfarmed a little bit here because I wanted to leave him with a little bit of health.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got him before he was able to put off a second sky attack. So 1 steal down.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting ways.
Mantine comes back in.
See, I think if he had done this before he swapped into his Skarmory, this would have been a different matchup right now.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. It would have been flip-flopped.
Okay, that's GG. You have a shield advantage, he does not have a shield, and you should be able to counter down or just throw a few body slams and finish off the Vigoroth.
Yeah.
Well, that was.
I don't know if you noticed, but normally if it's a Mantine versus an Articuno, I never shield because even if I lose, I normally bring in something else that can farm the Mantine, and then I get energy on whatever that is.
Yeah, energy at lead.
So even if I lose switch, yeah, energy is so important in this cup, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You have to play around energy management quite a bit.
So the second game, yep, leading Articuno to the Skarmory. But yeah, you'll always hit the Icy Wind before they hit the Sky attack, so.
And I think Articuno definitely wins CMP.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the only play for Skarmory at this point is to try and force the double shield scenario, but it is taking neutral damage from... both are doing neutral damage, but I think Ice Shards do more damage than Air Slash.
And I know that since I hit my attack first, that it's okay for me.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. He decides to... Okay, now it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the Vigoroth. But
agreed, yeah. Vigoroth with a bunch of energy is dangerous.
Yeah. It should probably get to 2 body slams before you can bubble beam it. Yeah. So he switches to his own Mantine. That was a bad move.
Yeah, I agree. If I was him, I would have waited till the bubble beam went off first.
Yeah, the bubble beam went off.
Make me as the Mantine waste energy.
Exactly. And now he doesn't have a shield. The first body slam.
And he used all of his energy for the ice beam.
Yeah.
So.
That was bad play. But you know, in situations like this, you definitely make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And also, since he didn't debuff me here, it's just a Vigoroth versus a Vigoroth.
Yeah, and you win CMP, so I guess that's GG.
6-0, and now I'm playing in the finals against it's actually a friend of mine, Notephone. At one point, he was, I think, like 20th in the world or something like that. He's a Spanish player. He's really, really good. We've played in other tournaments where he's just wiped the floor with me. So I was a little bit nervous, but we were always joking throughout the tournament that we would see each other in the finals. So it became kind of a funny destiny, I guess.
All right, let's see how it works out. Okay, that's a good lead. Articuno into a Skarmory. You just go straight Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and you should be able to win. It's one of those matchups that PV Poke shows that Articuno loses, mostly because it charges up to a Hurricane and then throws the Icy Wind. If you
because they think you're trying to bait.
Yeah.
So he swaps into the Stunfisk here.
Okay, but you're having a shield deficit, so this isn't exactly the best position to be in, I think.
And he earthquakes me.
Yeah, that's even worse. You go for the bait, but I guess at this point he doesn't have to shield. I guess his plan is to just let the Stunfisk go, come back with the Skarmory and farm down. He decides to throw it.
And it's
okay.
And the thing is, it's like, yeah, I don't want to waste my second shield.
Yeah.
But I know at that range that they probably won't get to another rock throw, so I just ice him down.
That is interesting play, to be honest. That he decided to throw the rock slide at the Vigoroth. I would have either let my Vigoroth go. My Stunfisk go. Come down, farm down with come in, farm up with the Skarmory, and then I would be able to throw 2 sky attacks at your Articuno, and force you to shield advantage. I think Vigoroth at the back sweeps your backline. But
yeah, I got really lucky here that I was able to also powder snow down that Skarmory, but now he's back in with the Vigoroth that is no longer debuffed.
Yeah,
so it's a pretty dangerous scenario.
Yeah.
That my win condition is if I can hit this energy ball.
Yeah, and you definitely go for the energy ball. It's gonna do more damage, and you have a possibility of getting the defense drop. Okay, that was very smart. You switched in your Articuno really fast. That's gonna put it in the red, but 2 ice shards to be able to, one even.
Yeah. So if you notice the team that he brought in, and I definitely noticed it's all Shadow Articuno counters pretty much. So it's the things that do best against it. So the Galarian Stunfisk, the Skarmory, and the Vigoroth. Because the Vigoroth I think can win in the 2-shield scenario, and everything else will at least take 2 shields away, right? So I figured he's going to think that I'm going to lead the Shadow Articuno. So I'm going to lead a Stunfisk.
Oh, that's a nice catch. You caught his Skarmory. So it's on your, it's on Vigoroth on your Stunfisk. I guess you charge up to an Earthquake, go for the bait. That's very smart because they would probably shield this. You still stay in this matchup, which is interesting.
Yeah, well, I figured if you notice my backline, it's also pretty weak to Vigoroth.
Yeah.
So it's like I needed him to at least get rid of some energy. So I throw this Earthquake, and I have very little health left, but I'm switching out.
Okay, he kind of understood that your backline was weak to the Vigoroth, so he committed 2 shields to the Vigoroth.
And he knew that that was the safest switch.
Yeah.
Now, since he's out of shields, the Vigoroth is pretty much gone, and then that takes care of at least one big problem. But unfortunately, shields are also gone. Well, at least one is, and I need 2 shields normally for the Articuno because I know that he's got a Galarian Stunfisk in the back.
But at this point, what I would be doing is I would be going for the Bulldoze because I think Bulldoze does more damage.
I'm watching the clock.
Oh, you catch! Oh, that's a nice catch. Oh man, that's amazing move.
So that was my 1-win condition. And I know that a Sky Attack won't take me out at this range, and I need to save the shield because I know what's coming in.
Oh wow. Okay, this is going to be a really, really close game. Even with 1 shield, it's going to be very close.
Yes.
I guess you want him to throw the Rock Slide, and then you're going to farm it down with the Vigoroth.
Yes. So I gotta throw this Icy Wind first because my timer's not up, but I know by the time that this is done, my timer is up, so I'm immediately going to switch. And it looks like there's like a switch move glitch is back, the CMP switch, because I think he hit that Rock's Throw at the same time.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. And you get to the Body Slam just on time.
Yeah.
But, you know, mechanics of the game is...
yeah, it's pretty glitchy.
Oh well.
But I figured since this is the finals, even though I won the first 2, and this one was super clutch, I decided to show the 3rd match as well because it's also... these were just very, very close competitive games. So yeah, the 3rd game, I'm mixing it up entirely because I know that he always thinks I'm going to lead the Shadow Articuno. So now I'm leading the Mantine.
That's interesting though. You didn't shield the first Rock Slide.
No, because I need to save the shields for the Shadow Articuno.
Okay. Oh yeah, fair enough. So you're just gonna charge up to the Ice Beam and throw the Bubble Beam and dip.
Yep, and then I'm going to switch into... no, actually I'm...
Okay, that's
I don't know what I'm doing.
I guess you let go of the Mantine and then come in with the Shadow Articuno?
Yeah, okay, so I'm double debuffing the Skarmory here.
Okay.
So then I at least know that his moves aren't going to be effective. And then I think, then I'll go in with the Articuno. So now I'm not really afraid of the Skarmory because the moves aren't going to hurt. Even if he Brave Birds me, which I believe he's going to do right now, I know it won't take me out if it's double debuffed.
Yeah, and now you put him in, since his defense dropped, you just farm it down.
Just farm it down.
And
So yeah, whatever's coming in is getting 2
Icy Winds.
Icy Winds.
It's an even shield scenario. I guess he's not swapping out because he has a Vigoroth at the back. So
I'm recognizing this myself. I know that I have to preserve the health on my Vigoroth.
Yeah. So with an energy lead, I think you'll be able to force 2 shields, and you're one ice shot away from an icy wind.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the play would be make him burn both shields, do as much damage to the Vigoroth as possible. Oh, this is going to be really close.
Yeah, all of these games, they were seriously, my heart was just racing. So yeah, this is enough to take out my figure off. Blown away.
Okay, wow.
And you can see at the top, he already knows.
He already knows.
Oh, look how close that is,
my
though.
God.
Since mud shots basically do nothing, that was the only thing that really saved me there, was that the ice shards were,
That
yeah,
was
just
so
hitting
close.
harder than the mud shots were.
That was so close.
So yeah, that was my 7-0 tournament. It's
Where-
actually my first as well, ever.
That's good. I mean, it's a good way to start a new season.
Yes, exactly.
So where does it put you in the rankings?
So yeah, after the tournament concluded, I checked my traveler's card, and I'm actually ranked 8th in the world right now, which is pretty amazing. I mean, obviously that's going to change with more people weighing their tournaments and as the meta shifts, but like you said, it's a pretty good way to start the season.
Thanks everyone for watching the video. If you liked it, feel free to leave some comments and show us some love below. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see some more stuff that we're putting out. We put out things every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes bonus content on the weekends.